Let's talk about how I was able to move from a designer earning $0 to a designer earning $1,000 plus. Back when I just started my design journey, before I transitioned into a product designer, I used to be a graphic designer and a brand designer. I still do a little bit of brand design because I enjoy branding and I'm a branding strategist. Alright, so when I started out, it was a big struggle for me to move from earning nothing to earning so much. And when I started out, I was so crazy with making money that I didn't give attention to the things I was supposed to give attention. That is to understanding sales, to knowing how to talk to a client, customer retention, customer management, client negotiation, pricing, and all of that. So it was a major issue for me. So all of the few clients that came in, I practically wasn't able to close them and get paid by them and work on a project. But I was this very good designer. I was a very good designer. I had taken off courses, a lot of programs, practice. But then, like I always tell people in my community and other persons I coach, I tell them that you can be very good with design. Your creativity sense can be so high and at its peak, but then you're still not making anything as a designer. And this is possibly a situation that you are in right now. You are so good with design. You design amazing flyers, brand identities, and amazing projects. You've done a lot of personal projects and fictional projects for yourself, but then you are still not getting paid as you should, or not even getting paid at all. You're not seeing any clients. You're not able to close any clients. And this is where I begin to tell them, or I tell people, that it's not just about being creative. Being creative and being good with your skill is just like 20% of the major work. Alright, if you are so good, but then you don't know the other part of it, you still remain as being so good. Nobody's going to know you. Nobody's going to want to patronize you or employ you. It goes beyond that. And that was the same situation I was in until I discovered something that changed my life, and I started making so much money. You saw me in my last video. If you missed the last video, you can go and check it out, where I talked about how I lost $1,500 on a call because I did not know how to negotiate or talk with the client. I didn't know anything about putting them first. Alright, so, and it made me lose that money, and that was the situation for me for quite some time. So until I discovered something very strategic I want to share with you right now that can change your own game too as a designer, or even if you have any other skill, not just for designers. So you have this skill, you are very, very good, you've brushed up, you've practiced, you've taken a lot of courses and programs and mentorship and coaching, you are so good. But then you have to understand that there are other important things that you need, even as a skilled person, in order for you to make money as a designer, a copywriter, a developer, whatever skill it is. And it's not just the sales part. I mean, it's very good. One of the things I want to talk about first in this video is knowing how to sell yourself. You have to understand that sales is not just something meant for people that sell clothes or shoes or bags or do affiliate marketing or are into real estate or all of those things. Even as a skilled person, as a designer, you have to know how to sell yourself. You have to know how to market who you are. Shamelessly market yourself. Shameless marketing, as I would say. Alright, you have to know how to market yourself shamelessly. But even when you know how to market yourself, you know how to sell yourself, you can still miss out on a lot. Something that people ignore, that I ignored for a long time. I was a very good sales guy. I had learned how to sell. Practically now, I can sell anything to anyone. At this time, I'm still a journey and a process for me, but I'm very certain I'm so good at sales, I can sell anything to anyone. But I was still having limitations. I wasn't getting the kind of jobs I wanted as a designer back then, until I found out that there's something that is important that is known as customer management. Or either you see it as customer management or you see it as client negotiation structure, or you can call it whatever you want to call it. But then, even as skilled workers, as designers in this context now, you need to know how to manage your customer or prospects, how to go on a negotiation call, how to even converse on that negotiation call, what to say, what not to say, how to respond, how to close it. You should even understand that sometimes you might not be able to even close that particular prospect on the first call, on the first chat, on the first email, or on the first discussion, or whatever, physical meeting, or whatever it is that you are doing with the prospect. You might not be able to close them first. So if you understand customer management or prospect management, you will close a lot more projects and gigs for yourself. This is something I ignored for a very long time, and it affected me until I found this out. And that was what moved me from being a low earning designer to earning so much as a designer back then. Alright, so understanding customer management, very important. When they come into your DM, what's the first thing you say to them? How do you talk to them? If you are into cold messaging or cold emailing, what do you say? Do you go on and just send a message like, hi, my name is this, I've been into this for 7 years, I've seen your designs and they are just a bunch of crap, they are not fine, they are not beautiful, it's not converting for you, and I can change that for you, reply my message and let's get into it. You see how you message them? Because a lot of persons will ignore you, a lot of persons will not respond. In fact, you have like 0.11111 conversion rate with that kind of code message. All right, so you have to understand that these are human beings. They want to relate and connect with you. So it's very good you even create a conversation, a friendship, an acquaintance even before you go ahead. So when you are sending a first message to someone you've not talked to before, someone you might not even know, you should not come with that approach. You should be more welcoming, more human, more friendly. Okay, let them feel like, okay, this person wants to have an honest conversation and they really want to have that conversation with you. So in customer management, it's so important that it starts from the first thing you say to the client, what you keep saying to them. When you go on a negotiation call with them, how do you respond? Like what I shared in the video where I talked about how I lost 1,500 on a call. I practically kept talking about me, myself, and it made me lose that project. So what do you say? You shouldn't focus on yourself. You shouldn't focus on talking about you, your achievements, your blah blah blah, and all of those things. If you sent a CV or your portfolio before then, they've seen all of that. They know you. They know you have a lot of things. They know you are good, and that is why they are going on that call even. All right. So they just want to know how much you care about them. They want to know how much you know and care about their problem and how your solution will help them, not help you. So you should focus on giving them value. And like I mentioned in that video, I said, do more of asking questions that will uncover deeper mysteries and truths about their problem, about the company, or about the person, whoever it is in your case. All right, ask more questions that will uncover, that will help you find out deeper things, what they really need, not just what they want, but what they really need, so you can know how to respond or how to bring in your solution. So there's something more important than being so creative and being so good with your skill. And there's also something aside knowing how to sell, which also customer management comes into the picture when you're learning how to sell. Customer management, branding, they go hand in hand with knowing how to sell. But this is something that a lot of persons ignore, and it can change your game. There's a lot of money you've left on the line and a lot of money you've lost because you don't understand or know customer management. So it comes in with the way you talk to them, what you say, the words you use, the phrases you use, how you connect with them, how often you reach out. Even if you are done working for a prospect, they've signed off on this, you've worked for them, you've delivered, do you just forget them? Do you follow up? All of these things come into the picture, and when you begin to study these things and begin to implement them into your whole structure as a designer, as a developer, you begin to realize how much change you begin to experience in the long run. So instead of focusing on being so good, or while you're focusing on being so good with your skill, focus also on sales and also focus on knowing how to manage your customers. Very, very important. And in this video, I've practically told you basic things you need to focus on, of which in my subsequent videos I'll be talking about different things like pricing, negotiation, because I mentioned in one of my last videos that I'll be having role play sessions where we practically role play the conversation between a skilled worker, someone with a skill, and a client buyer or seller buyer relationship or negotiation called pricing, where we practice how you can respond to them and what they'll possibly tell you and how you can give them the response to that question. So of course, I will still tell you again, make sure you subscribe and put on your notification button so you don't miss videos like this when we begin to drop them, or when I begin to drop them in this channel. To give more attention to your customer management, you know how to manage your customers, how to talk to them even when they're angry at you and they are cursing you or saying a lot of things about you. You should still be careful how you manage them, because it will determine or it will affect your whole long process or your journey in the long run. So give more attention to customer management and you see how much you will make from this time where you're watching this video to the end of the year.